Oh boy. Boy.
So,
Welcome to another episode of the Wacky Movie Review with these three high guys.
we almost missed the movie, or we thought we were going to.
This guy over here in the back seat told
Yeah,
us the movie had already started, so I shoveled my food in.
I wanted to cuck you because you cucked me.
We were getting teriyaki before the movie started because this mall has my favorite teriyaki place. I know it's kind of stupid because it's
Don't
mall.
dox us, Chris.
It's mall food,
Yeah, mall food.
but
See,
I like it.
The mall that I'm used to, the mall food would be like Sparrow's or like...
There's a Sbarro's there.
Yeah.
In there, yeah.
There was a different pizza place too that looked better. But... Mall food.
I like
Again.
that. I like this mall specifically because it has like
that bento box
good
I had
places.
was pretty good.
Yeah.
Not bad.
But so we were literally just shoveling down our teriyaki because the movie had technically started, but the preview, the previews were still showing. So I thought we had 20 minutes. We had
Probably had like 3 minutes.
we did have 20 minutes after all, I think.
I don't know about 20. It felt
It's like
like
15.
It felt
It's
like
like-
5. Because I only watched we watched 5
minutes.
Oh yeah, we watched like the Meg.
But we were like 15 minutes late, so that was like 20 minutes of previews.
Oh yeah, 20 minutes.
So
of
I was
previews, yeah.
I was right after
I thought
all.
you meant we had gotten there and then waited
No.
20 more minutes.
No, that
I was
was-
like,
that was
no,
not- that
we
was
did
the
not wait. There wasn't like 35 minutes of previews.
So
But, no, yeah, you were right.
So Mission Impossible Fallout. I don't even know which one this is. Is this the 6th one? 6th?
I don't know.
7th?
I haven't watched a Mission Impossible in quite a while.
I've seen the 2nd one, and I think the 4th one. That was supposed to take place in Seattle or something.
This whole thing wouldn't have happened if he didn't care about his friend.
Yeah. Okay.
The end is contradictory to just the whole thing is.
This movie is silly to a
Sixth?
fault.
Yep.
Yeah. This movie is.
It was a little too predictable, a little ridiculous. I mean, it's always fun to have.
You
ridiculous
know what you're going in for if you're going to see this, a big dumb action movie with Tom
It
Cruise.
was the action was really good.
That's
I
what
will
you-
say.
that's what
the
you get.
Cinematography and
The action was good, but by the end of the movie, I was starting to get worn out. I was starting to get like, okay, I've seen.
it felt like it was dragging on.
It dragged. It did drag at the end.
When he stopped to talk to his wife, I was like, I was gonna fall asleep. I was like losing.
Yeah, you mean when he wakes up and she her face is over him? You mean that part?
No, I'm talking about. Oh wait, no, that wasn't his wife. That was the other. That was the woman agent in the trees
Yeah.
when they were like talking. I was like, this is just
Wait.
more.
When are you talking? When
You
was
know
that?
when she was following him after they had met with White Widow.
Oh, you mean the bike? Oh,
Well, no. Remember when she was following him, and then they turn around and they both just like walk parallel through into the trees.
Oh, that
Why did they
scene.
walk into the trees?
That scene, that was like out of like a Hallmark
Why did they
romance
show
movie.
every good scene at the start of the movie with all the characters? Why did it show like most of the movie
Because this
when it was like
Because this movie is like a police procedural if it was a very high budget summer blockbuster.
so it had to show you every scene twice, and then you could say like, okay, well,
Plus seeing it in the trailers too.
yeah,
Every good scene in this movie was in the trailer.
I knew that guy was a bad guy in the trailers for when he does the fisticuffs thing, when he is going to fight in the bathroom and he like flicks his wrists out and it makes that little sound and he goes to like beat up the other guy. I was like, that guy's a bad guy.
Really?
I don't know why, but I was like, that's something like a henchman would do. I didn't think he was like the antagonist, but I was like, that guy is bad.
At the beginning, I thought they were setting him up to be a fucking dumbass. I
thought he was just gonna die at the start too.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was gonna die. I just thought he was like this really stupid guy that was gonna like tag around for the movie and then at the end be like, I'm no longer as stupid because I have Tom Cruise teaching me. So why I thought he was a dumbass, it's okay, let's remember so when it introduces him.
Okay, Number one dumbass thing, as soon as, right after you meet him, they have to jump out of a plane.
Yeah.
There's a thunderstorm under the plane.
Oh yeah, so
Tom Cruise is like, let's not jump in the thunderstorm.
So wait, no, so he
He's
no,
like-
no. So Tom Cruise is like, oh hey, I have something to tell you right about there before the jump. He's like, so this guy he pulls out Tom Cruise's oxygen. Like, I don't really know why, kind of a dick move. I mean, he's the villain, but at that point, you don't know he's the villain.
It's
He's still
like the second scene after meeting him.
yeah, he's still a good guy at that point. So he just did it to dick around, and then he jumped into a light.
I
he
had
almost
suspicions at the start. I was like, is this guy just like,
No,
are they
but-
just
but
in her face? This is the villain.
that scene doesn't make sense, even after knowing he's a villain, because it would sort of make sense if he was trying to kill him there,
Yeah.
but he wasn't.
He was just like being a dick.
Yeah, he was.
It was like this.
He had so many. At the end, he was like, why don't you just die to Tom Cruise?
Why won't you die?
He had so many
won't you
opportunities throughout this movie to kill him that he did not take. So many opportunities, he could have just killed him.
Why were the undercover? What is it? CIA? What was the faction?
I don't know what it stands for. IMF.
I know this IMF, but they were against the CIA. It wasn't the FBI.
Yeah, it was no. The
MI3.
other one was the CIA, and then there was the MI6.
That's right.
MI3.
No, it was
MI3.
MI.
No, it was MI3 because it made me think of M13. Every time they said it, it made me think of a gun.
But the agency, she was the British girl. She was MI6. I remember they said MI6.
If it was I6, you could have been remembering M16, Brandon. It's an M13. M16 is really common. You sure it's 13? Maybe there's 4 agencies at play here.
MI6 is the British one. That's what it's called, like
Oh.
MI6. Like James Bond is
Oh, yeah.
MI6. And before that too, Tom Cruise has to explain to him that at high altitude you need more oxygen, so he needs to turn on his oxygen tank. Like, shouldn't he know that already? He's CIA.
Dumb.
Why would he play dumb?
How could he's super undercover?
But he's undercover as a CIA agent,
Oh, wait,
so
yeah,
a CIA
he's also an assassin.
a CIA agent
assassin.
should know to turn on oxygen at high altitudes and know how to use like their technology, right? The suit and
It's
stuff.
just to make you either like him or hate him more. It was just it was a
It
polarizing.
was just to foreshadow the oxygen when they're jumping.
That's true.
But it doesn't. It just makes Lark look like a dumbass. Although I liked him.
Oh, Lark.
The villain. That's his name. Yeah, his last name. But I kind of liked him as a villain just because he was so he was such a straight man, such a just straight he was kind of just like a normal dude.
Yeah.
A normal dude who's also like a crazy terrorist guy who wants to nuke a bunch of places. He's basically Thanos. He's like, yeah, we gotta kill people to make things better. He never explains how this works. It's left as vague as possible. Just if more people die, things will be better. Like, I mean, I guess you could infer from that, like, less population, like more stuff. But it's like, you can't. It's like
I have
if
so
you're
many
just
questions.
nuking places, you really think it's going to make things better? Like,
I have so many questions. Why would this if she was undercover as CIA, the White Widow and her brother, why were they just cool with killing a whole bunch of French cops for that guy? Like, their plan was to just kill all the cops.
well, I think she is like a criminal turned informant. So
No, maybe.
I think that's what they said, right? She
I
was.
thought she was undercover for CIA.
Did they say?
She said she was.
Did they say undercover?
They said she was deep cover CIA.
Oh, I don't know. Then maybe just that's how deep she is. That's how deep
Maybe.
undercover. Because only Tom Cruise is really the only one besides Alec Baldwin who has like the Batman morality. He's basically the Dark Knight. He's like, I won't kill for anything basically, except the times he does kill. I guess he just doesn't want innocent people to die. But
The pieces fell into place more as I was like, he's definitely the villain when Tom Cruise was like, I am Lark, to like the White Widow. It's like, okay, this is like, he's the bad guy, and he's sitting there with all the cards behind the cards, like, I got you, motherfuckers. This plan's working because now I'm not the Lark. He's the Lark pretending to be the Lark. Like, he's my bait. He's just bait man. Tom Cruise was Bateman the whole time.
This movie had a lot of exposition.
When they were interrogating the guy at the start in like the hospital room, and they were like going through with everything, at first I was like, why are they rolling over so easy? Like, so easy to just be like, okay, yeah, read his manifesto on the news. I was like, what? Why would he just call a guy and be like, okay, do it?
That was actually a pretty good twist. I mean, it's a pretty good scene twist. Just like, oh, they're actually...
It's all staged.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we just watched actors playing actors.
But I know that Tom Cruise's angry acting isn't any better than what he was displaying there.
Yeah.
Because Tom Cruise trying to be angry is just kind of adorable, really.
That whole... When he goes
just like hold me back. Just like,
yeah. It was the setup where it's like, hold me back. Okay, hold me back. Hold me back.
But Tom, even when he's actually acting, not acting at like acting in acting, even when he's just doing normal acting, he can't really... His angry is not intimidating at all. Tom Cruise cannot play an intimidating man.
He can run a lot. He can run real fast a lot.
Yeah, he can...
There's a lot of Tom Cruise... That whole, like, 10 minutes of just Tom Cruise sprinting through building tops and funny situations, that was some nice comedy relief.
Yep, just... That was actually... That was actually a really funny joke when Simon Peck, who is the support guy, but like the tech guy, I think, or the guy who's always do they even have roles?
They're just sort of a team.
A team that just does whatever, I guess. Like, yeah, but whatever. So he's helping Tom Cruise like navigate to find Lark on foot, and he thinks he's just on the street. So he's just giving him normal street directions.
Yeah.
So he's just like, oh, turn left up ahead on this street. Oh, just keep going. But Tom Cruise is actually running through like the rooftops of buildings and going through the windows of buildings. And if you've seen the trailer, you've seen this, running through the office. And then they put all the best scenes in the trailer. So if you see the trailer...
At the start of the movie again. So you're like, remember these scenes from the trailers?
Yeah, and that you're just about to see. Yeah.
It's like, okay, when you see him fall on the rope on that bag from the helicopter, so when you're watching him, like, struggle to get up to the helicopter, you're like, okay, at some point he's going to fall onto the bag, and then there's going to be a situation, like, I already know that he's about to fail, and until then, I'm just waiting for him to fail, and then something after that.
So that hook holding...
The hook holding the helicopter is bullshit.
That would not
work.
It would have been... Okay, so the hook... It's like a centimeter.
I don't understand why everyone in the theater laughed at that. Laughed at the hook catching onto the...
Because it was super ridiculous.
It was super cheesy.
It made me laugh just because it wouldn't work like that. It wouldn't catch. It would just keep falling.
Okay, they were on a cliff, and the cliff was like a cliff of a cliff. It was like a small cliff that was by itself, and then like straight dropped down off the side of a giant snowy mountain.
To be fair, I am not a physics major, but I don't think that tiny little hook that's like a centimeter hooked onto a rock, just a centimeter deep, I don't think it would hold an entire fucking helicopter hanging.
The rock was...
It was only the hole.
Yeah, the helicopter had crashed and it rolled a whole bunch, and the tail was gone, and the rotors were gone, and a whole bunch of shit was gone.
I could buy it holding the first time. But the second time after it falls and then latches again, those times of like, no, the momentum would make it so it wouldn't latch like that.
Yeah, that's not how... It would have whipped that rope like off the mountain instantly because of the tension.
It wouldn't just latch immediately. Like, but I mean, obviously, we're watching Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible movies are some of the cheesiest fucking action movies you can get.
I felt like I was watching a generic action movie.
This felt like a movie that would have been made like 10 years ago.
It was really like, it felt by the book.
It was honest.
Like
it was
friendly guy betrays, fight scenes here and there, funny bathroom ha-has.
It had a lot of sitcom humor.
Yeah.
Like it kind of like some parts kind of felt like just like a cop show.
When they were explaining the bomb, how it's like, okay, we have to defuse both the bombs at the same time, and then they're like, okay, both bombs at the same time and remove this trigger. I'm like, it's all gonna happen within 1 second. And I was like, all right, where is that?
They literally go down. They kind of make like a joke on that
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
they
like
joked
it's
about
like,
it.
can we do it on 2? It's like, oh no, let's just do it on 1. Just
You want
like,
to play it that close? It's like, that was sort of funny. That was a funny quip.
Yeah, it's. I wish there were kind of more of those. There were some, but
Little quips that weren't like full comment. It felt like
more
little quips that weren't like meant to be full comic
self-aware.
relief.
I
Yeah,
kind of wish it was just more
self-aware.
self-aware because this movie isn't very self-aware, and I just wish it was more because I would.
It did at times, and other times it was like it was really predictable. It's an action movie.
Can we go back to that scene where he meets Ilsa, among the trees?
Oh,
That scene was filmed like a Hallmark movie romance. They see each other and they both turn and they both walk at the same speed,
who
the exact
stands,
same
like,
time.
this close when they're talking to each other.
Yeah,
Even
and
at a
then-
low whisper, they were like,
And then they just okay, so
they were so close.
this scene is actually really fucking stupid. So
Oh my
okay,
God.
they're like trees. There's like a row of trees and they're standing off to the side of the trees looking at each other. Then they both turn, they walk to the other side of the trees, they turn again, and then they walk forwards to each other and stand like right here facing each other talking.
They both turn while looking at each other and walk parallel into the line of
I'm just
trees.
like,
it's
what-
probably like a famous area because they were two.
But the scene comes out in
rows. I
most
just don't know
scenes
it.
in this movie. There's not a lot of segues. They're just kind of like, okay, now it's like we're here. Now we're here. Now we're here. And now we're doing this thing. There's not too much. There's like, it's not really too confusing, but a little like a few times I was like, I'm not exactly sure how we ended up here.
I saw a funny transition while we were watching Shameless, Brandon, when what's his name, the drug lord guy? He's not a drug lord, but he's working.
Marco?
Yeah, Marco. He calls.
Steve?
No, he calls Fiona, and he's like, "Hey, I got to cancel our date for next." Or
Oh,
like,
Steve has to cancel the date.
yeah, that's right. Steve has to cancel the date with Fiona, and he calls her, and he's like, "Sorry, babe, I got to cancel that date on like whatever in like a couple days or whenever, tomorrow night, something." And then
Dude, okay, my
she
favorite-
says, "We don't have a date tomorrow," and he says, "Yeah, I'm sorry," and then he like hangs up, and it cuts from her part of the story to his part through that phone call of like, "What are you talking about? We don't have a date," and he's like, "Oh, sorry, I got to do this drug lord shit because I'm about to die, and I just wanted to be like, sorry, you can't come to that date."
No,
It
it's
doesn't-
human trafficking.
Yeah, like, whatever. Everything.
No, my favorite one of those interactions was when he comes over with the car with what's your name inside, and he's like, "I gotta cancel our date tonight, but I'm all yours tomorrow." And she yells back, "Who even said I wanted you?" It's like, damn, that's
Yeah.
fucking great.
Yeah.
Ugh. Who even said I wanted you?
Some parts of this movie were too predictable, and it took me out of it a little bit.
So, you knew he was the villain before I did, because I knew. I mean, I think this is when they expected like the not dumb people of their audience to know, like when the scene where he's giving the false information to the CIA head, who was
That was really obvious.
who was a black
also.
woman, which is the most unrealistic part of this movie, because a U.S. government head was a black woman. It's
Yeah.
very unrealistic.
Well, I mean, they had a lot of interesting gear.
This movie was actually pretty diverse in terms of like
Cast.
Yeah, it had women in action roles. It had that Asian guy
Kris,
totally kicked both of their fucking asses at the same
There's
time.
almost a woman for president. How can you say she can't be in that role?
And then, did you see what happened after that? The whole backlash after 2016? The internet hasn't been the same since. It's just been a giant shit show since 2016. Oh,
Yeah. That's
but
another story, though.
we shouldn't talk too much about politics. No, we might alienate some
Chris,
of
you all
YouTube.
leftist cuck.
What the? It's not even a real thing.
Chris, I think you are all left.
I don't agree that is a real term.
All left?
Yeah. I don't agree that it describes a real thing.
It's pretty real. Boy, do
But-
we need that anymore?
No.
Oh, let me dump it out. Kris doesn't believe in the alt left because he is the alt left.
No, I'm a spooky SJW.
That's alt left, Kris. It's
That's
not the same thing, but
well, then that's what is an SJW though.
I don't know anymore. Kris.
See, I can define alt-right. That it's just fucking like white nationalism and basically all of that shit just wrapped up into like one movement. White nationalism, extreme misogyny. We're getting way off topic though.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay, that's too much off topic. I think a little off topic's okay, but yeah, okay, I remember where we were talking about the head of the CIA. I forgot. I need to look up that actress's name because my phone is recording. Ah, fuck. She played the three-breasted woman in season 4 of what's that show called? American Horror. Is that what? That's what it's called, right?
The three-breasted.
American Horror.
American Horror Story.
Yeah, she was three-breasted, right? The black woman. You know, she.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's her. I like her.
Yeah.
I like that actress.
Yeah.
I like seeing in her things. She
Yeah.
was the head of the CIA. I was like, okay, that's cool. They have a black woman.
I know her
It's
as
like
Madame Zostra from one season.
I like how progressive this movie is. Weirdly about that, it's like okay, it's like that's cool. But like, so she doesn't like the IMF, probably because she doesn't know what it stands for. Neither do I.
She died in the first episode of the second season of American Horror Story.
Oh,
She played Kit's wife.
I didn't see.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see season 2. I've only seen.
You haven't seen the good season then.
Probably not. No, I've only seen like season 4 and 5 parts of 5. I think it's not really a show for me. I've only watched it with Brandon. But okay, so yeah, she doesn't like Ethan, Tom Cruise, or Alec Baldwin. She's like, I'm gonna put my own guy in there, and that guy is Lark, the bad guy he's a deep undercover CIA agent.
I love how.
What were you gonna say? Sorry.
Wait, no, because. So the CIA woman double-crossed him at the end, though, but then he double-crossed the double-crossed while being... There's so many double-crossings, because remember the CIA team stops them, and then he's got his men in that CIA team that turn on them. There's like so many flips.
There are too many twists in this movie, and they're all dumb twists.
They're all within the span of 10 minutes, everyone going, I'm an undercover agent, I'm an undercover agent.
Yeah, it got to the point where it was annoying. It was like, I just want something to be real. I want like the good guys to actually go through like a bad event. Wait, were the nuclear bombings real?
No, remember that was part of the false.
See, I don't like that. That should have happened. That would have made this movie better if the nuclear
bomb happened. Then there would be no reason for them to get any of the shit.
The context of that. This movie would have been better.
They could prevent more. They could prevent more nukings.
They don't know where any more plutonium is.
No, I'm just saying they could have changed they could have incorporated into the plot that the nukings actually happened. I think because the good guys don't actually suffer anything, because anytime something bad is happening, oh no, it's fake. They're actually fine. I don't like that.
The moral of the movie.
I wish the nukings happened. It would have made this movie better, because then Ethan, throughout the entire rest of the movie, he would have known. It would have made it. No, it would have made it better. He would have known that he sacrificed millions of lives for one life. That was the whole thing, right? That's what he's willing to do. He looks out for the one life. Yeah. So he would have, hanging over his head for the entire rest of this movie, he would have known millions of people died because I saved one life. Wouldn't that have made it much more like dramatic, his character?
Again, the whole movie exists because of the one life scenario.
But then it's like, oh no, it's all fake. But if it's all fake, no, see, that's why I was confused if it was fake or not, because they filmed a scene where he was looking really sad and somber over a screen of the bombings on the TV. But that wasn't when the other guy was awake, wasn't it? They woke him up after that, so that was entirely for the audience.
No, he was already in the room.
Was he?
Yeah, they came into the room when he was already awake, laughing at the news.
Yeah.
And then we... Okay. I guess that was my fault then, but I think...
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, the nuking should have happened, Kris 2018. It would have made the movie better if Islam had been nuked. It's just funny in the context, because the 3 bombs were targeted all over, like...
Do you agree with me, though? It would have made the state, like... So it's like, okay, these nukes have happened, but they were just small targets, so... But there are more nukings planned, and we need to stop this. Like, if it already happened a little bit, I think that gives it more, like... more weight.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, this movie annoyed me with that, and then
if that had happened, that had been a lot of controversy, because
I like a movie that's willing to go there and do this thing, do those types of things. This movie, because okay, they're the villains. The villains nuking holy sites. That wouldn't have been that controversial. That would have been controversial. They could have done that.
But if it actually happened in that universe,
oh, it would have been. Wait, what do you mean?
That would have been more controversial if, like, that had actually happened. I don't think that's what the U.S. wants to do with that area right now.
That would be... I don't even know what would happen if that... That would be, like, World War III.
Because then the next Mission Impossible movie means all of Islam is nuked. And then it continues on as...
Wouldn't that make an interesting series where every movie, something drastic changes the world and then they have to incorporate that? That makes an interesting universe.
That's just like power creep, though. That's like Superman syndrome, where it's like, all right, how do we go bigger and badder next? How do we make this? It's like, at what point does the whole world get nuked, and then we have to fly the moon into the Earth to stop the bad guy? Also,
okay, so what?
How many people died on his whole adventure that were like innocents? Like, there were car crashes and accidents. There were a lot of stuff
but you don't see them die.
No.
So
you don't. That doesn't matter.
You don't see them die, so they're not dead.
Yeah.
They're not actually, Drake. They're not dead bodies on the screen. You're not seeing them with your eyeballs. That means they're fine. They're alive and nothing happened to them. They're okay.
We need people who care about the one person as much as the 1 million, even if it means risking.
That actually pissed me off because that's so stupid. It's like, okay. If you want to argue about that philosophically, okay, I don't agree. I mean,
if you can stop someone from having 3, like...
The trolley, I think the trolley problem is interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think about, like, 1 versus 5, though, which is, like, how it's usually presented?
Always win over the 1. It's just always...
Utilitarian.
Yep.
Yeah, I probably have to agree in the end. But Alec Baldwin is like, yeah, we need guys like Ethan who are willing to sacrifice millions of lives
save his friend
for one guy.
For
a dude who,
millions of lives.
A dude who said, "Go ahead, kill me. I'm fine with dying." He said, like, I'll stay guy.
Even when they executed their plan to save him, they both just ran away from the thing they were protecting. That whole scene I hated.
Talking about this movie made me realize how much I don't like it.
Yeah.
I was prepared to come out of this movie thinking it was okay. But no, like, actually going through it, there were a lot of things that actually kind of pissed me off about it. Like,
the whole start of the movie is when I was like, all right,
the starting scene, literally the starting scene, I was laughing because
how you doing, Brandon?
You can jump in at any time if you want to say something. But so the starting scene was, it's a dream. It starts off showing him at, like, a wedding with sexy lips woman. I don't know the name of the actress.
His wife and whatever. I don't know. I don't remember her name either. I'm not good with names.
I'm gonna call her Sexy Lips.
I'm gonna call her Bruce Willis.
Drake, where does the connection to Bruce Willis come in here?
It doesn't.
It starts
I just
off
like imagining Bruce Willis.
It starts off with him in a wedding with his ex-wife, and then the priest, instead of doing the vows, is going into saying things like, do you promise to, like, betray her and
do
bad shit?
Yeah.
Like just
It's like lies and deceit.
Yeah, lies
One
and
of the parts
deceit.
was like lies and deceit.
Yeah.
Do you promise to be? Do you promise to be like, whatever? The vows are all
And
fucked up.
it starts off with a dream scene, which already is kind of a red flag.
And
like,
then the priest is the main. The
I mean, at
the
least
guy with the manifesto that wanted to.
at least you realize, like, at least it shows you 5 seconds in that it's a dream. If it went on for like a few minutes and then it was a dream, that wouldn't be a red flag. That would be okay. This movie can fuck off. But it was only like 30 seconds, so it wasn't a huge deal. But it was still like weird. It's just like, oh, okay. So this movie is going to be about how he's sad about his ex-wife, except it wasn't really until like the end.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh hey, I found you. You happen to be here for coincidence in these remote mountains.
There was a lot of coincidence in that movie too.
Way too much coincidence
Like
for me
lot.
to just write off. Like literally, okay. I usually can just write these off in action movies. You know, bullets missing when you're just firing because okay, the protagonists aren't going to get shot that much. Like the bullets are going to miss
It takes
them.
a bunch of shots until
But-
something actually happens, like
but-
he hits the helicopter.
But no, it's like, okay, you know the scene, like the Ilsa, right? Her name, the British woman, Ilsa, on the bike when she's shooting her like sniper assault, her rifle, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like she's shooting it into the car. Like she's shooting at them. Like the brakes in the screen are in front of like them. Like they should be shot.
Oh
Why,
yeah.
How do the bullets miss them?
bullet
The angle of the windshield changes the trajectory of.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the glass like this. This is
Still though, it's like.
it's a little janky.
But she's shooting so much at them. Like, come on, like, it's just. But it looks like she's shooting right at them. So several times I'm like, oh shit. At the start of the next scene, they're going to be shot, and then they're going to have to deal with being shot. Nope, they're not shot. Apparently, it missed. I'm like, but the bullet was coming right at them. It's just like. This happens this happens a lot of times.
They made you think he got shot in the head because it went through the glass.
Yeah.
And he like jumped and then he kept his head like tilted
Yeah,
over.
but
he got shot in
but
the
how
head,
did it
now
miss
what?
it? But how did it miss him? It was right for his head. It's
She
like
had all the time in the world to take a shot, and he was driving straight forward at like a normal pace.
this movie made me realize how much I don't like Tom Cruise too. His acting isn't good. He can run, but he can't really act super well. Apart from not being able to be angry effectively, he just doesn't come off as he doesn't come off as a secret agent. When I watch Tom Cruise act in this movie, the vibe I get is not he is a secret agent. I get he is some dude who can run and say stuff and shoot people sometimes. Not that much.
Yeah.
He shoots like a few guys. That's it. He doesn't. I guess he can kill sometimes, but most of the time it's no killing.
Yeah.
But when it's convenient, he'll kill.
When it's the bad guys, kill them all, shoot them. They shot that cop woman. They can shoot all of them.
Yeah, what I was gonna say earlier though, like the whole like a million versus one thing, that because he's willing to look out for his friend in despite like all these people he doesn't know dying. It's like, would the fucking dude? You guys are agents for the government. Like, isn't your whole motto like protecting the masses?
The greater good.
The greater good, yeah. What kind of fucking like government head are you, Alec Baldwin? Oh, you're so dumb. Oh,
Closing statements. I give it a 4 out of 10 arbitrary points.
Arbitrary points. This movie was making me agree with what's her name, CIA head, kind of like the modern Eartha Kitt. It's what she looks like, sort of. Right?
Oh, yeah. Sorta.
I was agreeing with her. She was like, you guys suck and CIA's better. It's like, well, yeah, if Alec Baldwin is spouting off this we need to protect our one friend versus all these people philosophy, I'm like, okay, yeah, I agree with you. Like, fuck Tom Cruise, like...
If that news broke where it's like he saved his friend so that terrorists could get 3...
His friend who said he was okay with
nukes.
dying, he's like, no, like, Ethan, please, like, just continue on, just
that
go.
man would be crucified if he was like, I gave up 3 nukes for my friend. It's like... treason. You just kill. You put
Oh,
millions of people's lives.
another
at
thing
risk.
that pissed me off. Too few people die in this movie.
Yeah.
For an action movie, too few people die, especially when they should die and that's revealed, nope, they're still alive. Like at the beginning,
There's a lot of jobbers that
Allstate-
just get like whipped away. Like the guy in the helicopter, he just punched him a few times, then he like flew out of the helicopter. The guy piloting the helicopter was pretty funny. He was like, "Oh shit."
No. This movie did have some funny scenes, I'll give it that. It had a few scenes where I was laughing. Like, yeah, when Tom Cruise he climbed up the rope to this helicopter, and then so he's at the top of it, and then the guy in the helicopter, he just looks at him, and then Tom Cruise looks at him. They're just looking at each other.
Tom
for a few
Cruise is
seconds.
standing in the door of like the helicopter,
just,
like
they don't know what to do. It's just like
the guy just looks at him like, "What?" It's just like an awkward moment.
That was
and then it's like
funny.
A gun.
Yeah, I like that scene.
That was a good scene. And the helicopter pilot's like, "Oh shit."
Fuck. What were we talking before that? I know I had another point to make. Oh, about too few people dying. Yeah. So when Allstate guy, when I thought he died, I thought they killed him. When you know at the beginning when Tom Cruise, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Ving," or that's his actor's name. What? That's his real name. What was his name in the movie?
Who?
The black guy on their team, the big Allstate guy.
Oh, I keep calling him Allstate guy.
Yeah, Allstate guy.
I have never known his name.
Ving Rhames. I was watching the credit because they display the actors' names like a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
So I saw it was Ving Rhames.
I was not paying attention to that.
But I was looking for it actually. I wanted to know. It's like.
Yeah, I've seen him in a lot of things, so it's good to know his name.
I know him as Allstate guy
I like him as
because
an actor. He's funny.
he has a fucking awesome voice.
Yeah, he does.
As someone with a deep voice, I appreciate good deep voices. But I thought he died when Tom Cruise was like, "I'm sorry," and then he like, you know, shot the guy who was holding him at gunpoint.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he died, but nope. He didn't shoot him in the head like what would make sense. He shot him in the chest where he's wearing a bulletproof
I think
vest
Tom Cruise
like anyone
shot
would.
him
No, yeah,
in
Tom.
the chest.
Oh, he shot him in the
He
chest.
shot his friend in the chest, which made. I think that was his plan, was to shoot him in the chest so
Oh, okay.
the force would knock the gun away from his head or some stupid shit. They made the scene look like he shot him in the head and he was like dead, and it was like.
Yeah, they make you think. That kind of thing pisses me off.
I'm
when
starting to catch that in movies more when they frame something where it's like they really, really want you to believe that this person's dead or that this happened, but it's like most of the time it's pretty obvious that it's like this.
Yeah, it's like, okay,
It's too obvious that it's framed that way.
It's like I'm giving you faith, movie, that what I'm trusting is believable. That's like a basic thing you have to do when you're watching a movie, you know, suspension of disbelief, turn off your brain, just get absorbed into the world. Like, but then if you, like, a few times you can pull, like, the twist, you know. I liked it when they did it in the hospital, like, you know, they pulled the twist on that guy.
Oh, yeah.
I still think if the nukings were real, this movie would be better, but that's a different thing, but...
Kris 2018.
But you can do it, like, one or two times, and it's like, oh, clever. But if you keep doing it, I'm just going to be like, okay, fuck off, movie. Like...
Yeah, you're Shyamalaming us too much.
Like, it would be better if... It would be more dramatic if these people died, and they're not, so it's just, oh, okay, nobody actually dies. It's all just, haha, I'm alive because I am a character in the movie, and I can survive anything.
Yeah, it was not as good as I'd hoped it was going to be.
Man, I actually enjoyed Skyscraper more than this. And that's weird because
I haven't seen it.
I usually agree with critics, like critical consensus. You know, it's like Rotten Tomatoes. It's like, oh yeah, they're like, you know, if this movie was like 90%, and I watch it, I'm like, yeah, that was a good movie. It's like, low. It's like, yeah, it's like, it is a bad movie, but this movie got like 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I like last time I checked, and I mean, it does have some good action in it, but
They crammed a lot on the start with trying to get the movie going. They just how fast they went through that whole scene.
I like
And that's
chase.
what ruined it for me.
I like chase scenes, but the chase scenes just wore on, and they didn't provide enough variety in them to justify it.
Yeah, I like the chase scene where he's in the car and he's got the guy. That was my favorite of the chase scenes. The rest of them were
Wait,
sort of...
which one are you talking
The
about?
one where he's in the BMW running away from the woman on the motorcycle. That was...
Oh,
He was
you
on
mean
the BMW motorcycle when he was in the BMW?
You mean
in
Elsa?
the BMW car, yeah.
Elsa driving the bike, yeah.
And he had him as a passenger.
No, that-
and he was like, good to see
yeah,
you
that-
again, Ethan.
Yeah, that was good.
That was funny.
So I would say
4 out of 10 arbitrary points. GG. No re.
if you just want to see action,
If you want to see Tom Cruise and a lot of action.
yeah, see this. But just don't expect to care about the plot or the characters or anything else besides the action.
Get ready to get
And-
your neck twisted off.
And it be expected for like 2 hours of action plus boring parts in between, but
Don't believe anything you're watching. Everything's a twist.
yeah, to an annoying level sometimes. Really annoying.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, the other twist that annoyed me, I think most of the twists annoyed me actually, because the twist when they had, okay, so, oh yeah, why did they break out that guy, the anarchist guy that apparently used to be, I haven't seen a lot of these movies, so I guess he used to be on there, I don't know.
I guess in a previous movie, he's
Yeah.
probably some sort of terrorist.
Oh, I think he was on their team at first. Like
He's like a rogue agent or something.
What's that called? Defected? Yeah, he defected.
Yeah.
And now he's a terrorist. So, why did they actually release him? Did they have a good reason for doing it?
Because they needed to trade for the plutonium for the other two before they knew that they were undercover CIA or whatever.
They're a fucking you have the power of the CIA and this imaginary agency that has unknown amount of power and resources. You don't have to actually release this guy. You just fucking raid these guys and get their plutonium, or like, I don't know, it's like there are other ways to go about this instead of releasing this very dangerous terrorist and then hoping that you can recatch him and stop the bomb. And it just felt like this movie's plot was like arbitrary and self-inflicted.
Yeah.
It's like you could have
Opening
prevented.
scene ruined the whole movie for me, really. Just the whole, they left the plutonium box thing. That whole thing is just contradictory to the whole movie, and it shows how incompetent they are when they leave the plutonium by the car.
Oh, yeah. What?
And save his friend. That's just the worst thing about the whole movie. He has a car that can drive itself. I mean, not drive itself, but he drives the car with the phone. Why didn't he park it in a way that he could have like thrown it in and then driven the car away?
So it's very true. So he gets the plutonium lost, and then next scene, he's fucking, you see him going like sad as shit, or trying to be sad, because Tom Cruise is an amazing actor, in my non-acting opinion.
Every time I see his face, I just think of that picture of him in the chair with like his chin all the way back and like that really huge smile of him laughing. You know exactly what I'm talking about?
I think so. I want to see it again. But so, fuck, what were we talking about?
I don't know. I'm fucking tired.
I just want to finish my thought, but fuck. This is what you get when you do high reviews. What was the last thing we were talking about? Tom Cruise. So he's sad, and in the rest of the shot, you see the screen TV screen of the fake nuclear bombings. So the movie really leads you to believe that yes, there are nukings, and back to the nukings. Just think it would have been better with nukings.
Kris approves of nuking to make things better.
Yeah.
Muting.
Why is that like such a thing right now in movies with the villain, like the Thanos thing of we need to like kill people to make things better? Seems like a lot of movies now we're seeing that's like the villain's goal.
That's pretty villainous.
Yes.
Kill people because it makes things better. That's I guess as far as an explanation as they need.
Yeah, they never even go into like how it happens, or just like it just works, trust
That's
me.
just his manifesto is like there needs to be a great suffering before there's a great
And like the greater the
cooperation.
the greater the suffering, the greater so
Why were they gonna put two nukes in the same spot? Like that wouldn't really help. The explosion, all that. They were going after that water table for like the radiation to like starve a third of the planet of water, I guess.
the greater the suffering, the greater the gain, or what? The greater the
Peace.
greater the peace.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep.
But okay, so let's say you kill a bunch of people, they're still going to. So now there's just a bunch of people left who have to clean up. They're still gonna fight. They're gonna regrow, and then you're just gonna have like the same thing again. It's just what.
Well,
These villains, they need to outline their plans better. It's like they just like say, "Oh, kill people and it'll be better." It's like, no, you need an actual like idea of how this will work. It's like apart from being whatever like immoral, it's just dumb. You don't have an actual idea. You need a plan.
I guess it would have helped to see the first movie, see what that guy's all about. This like the terrorist, not the first movie, but the previous movies. If he's really like, there's something we're missing here. It doesn't seem.
I don't know.
Like we are.
It seems like they went to pretty great lengths to explain everything for newcomers.
It seemed very formulaic. Yeah.
I mean, when it starts off with
Very tasty.
I remember this is something I wanted to talk about while I was watching it. When it starts off and Tom Cruise receives his mission
I like that scene of him like folding out his little book thing that starts playing the tape. I like just the whole tape as a concept, but
it was. So it's like, okay, this is a veteran spy, secret agent that we've had for what, like at least 10 years at this point. I mean, I don't know how much it is in universe, but the movies have been coming out for a while, so it has to be a significant period of time. This veteran secret agent, instead of, he can't read like a dossier, he needs like this PowerPoint presentation to just give him the quick highlights.
It was
like,
weird that it was a book
like
and it was mailed to him. What was he doing before that? Why was he...
It has really...
Training?
It has like all these like animations and stuff to like help explain like the mission, but it's just like he can't read a file. He needs like this simplified like animation to help explain the concepts.
It's the classic
of him.
spy movie thing where it's like this little device that tells you everything and then self-destructs.
Yeah, but it's telling him everything in like a really simplified manner where it's like it's for the audience, but I feel like they would just hand him like a file. It's just like, here, read this file about what's going on, and then it just burns up.
Yeah.
But what I know that's nitpicking, but this is minute 48 into this video, so I feel like we've been going on long enough that I can nitpick.
Yeah. I don't have much to say about
No, I think we've said... Brandon, you've said like 2 words this whole time. What are your thoughts on this movie? Did you like it?
Chase/fight scene / unneeded humor of the movie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I
it's a
like
big action romp.
I like some of the humor. Some of it was too sitcom-y for me, even though I like sitcoms, but it felt a little weird. There were some good laughs that we already covered those.
Why did I put my seatbelt on? I guess that's just something I automatically do when I get in the car. I've been wearing the seatbelt the whole time, and we haven't been going anywhere. Extra safe for the review.
Favorite scene of the movie? I liked the bathroom scene with the Asian guy.
That was a good fight scene.
Tom Cruise is basically like supposed to be the ultimate spy who can never get too injured throughout the rest of the movie. But in this one scene, I think I like it because he gets his ass kicked.
I'm pissing into my Corona bottle.
Don't do it. Fuck you. Don't.
I need to piss. Fuck you.
Don't do that. Fuck you.
It's not like I'm on camera.
Brandon, don't do that.
Why?
Because just get out of the car and go piss, or
there's fucking cars going on.
Until we get home to piss.
I like that guy kicked both Tom Cruise's and the villain's asses, and they were both fighting him at once.
Yeah.
He kicked both of their. He was about to kill Tom Cruise before Ilsa saved his ass.
Yeah, Brandon, you're pissing. Brandon's pissing
video.
in a bottle behind Kris, and we have it on video.
Thank you for narrating that.
Yes, I just wanted to be sure. That
this movie
knew what
ends.
was going on.
This movie ends with fucking
Don't
narration.
have my coat over your dick, you fucker.
No, it's not touching it.
This movie ends with narration. It ends with the CIA head narrating to Tom Cruise like what happened, like now, like you're fine and like everything is safe. Blah blah blah. At the end, it's like, why is that necessary?
I like how his wife was there.
The music,
when they found the bombs.
The music in this movie is so overdone. It's so overblown for scenes where it doesn't need to be that overblown, but it's like it's like you need to feel something, feel emotions,
that
music,
trumpet, that action trumpet.
It's like emotion. The action music was fine. I'm talking about scenes where
when it's like transition scene, building up tension. It was the same track with the same like crazy trumpet.
They're trying to
loud noise.
They're trying to build up tension by audio because there's no tension in the actual scene, so they need to fake it.
Annoyed by that noise.
It was annoying me too. I was just like, come on guys, you're not actually making it tense.
You just filled up the 40.
You filled that 40 with piss. That's mostly clear. Brandon, what did you drink before the movie?
That Corona.
I've only been drinking water.
What if someone tries to sip that?
Well, they're idiots then, and they get what they deserve.
I still have more.
Wait, are we done?
Almost.
I just want to admire that. I'm gonna go smoke with that.
Let's give Drake. What are your final thoughts?
What? I was gonna stop it.
It's a full fucking 40
of
piss. In one sitting.
Good action movie. Great cinematography. Bad writing.
Pretty good cinematography.
Too many twists. If Tom Cruise really flew that helicopter, that's pretty cool, but...
Another nitpick I have is the rubber masks. How do they look? How do they look that realistic if it's a rubber mask? How can rubber look?
It's not rubber. Did you see they had like a 3D printer for the masks on that briefcase? There's a crazy. I don't know what that mask is made out of, but it was bullshit.
But it's like they just plop it on.
Pull it off.
I don't know. It seemed like you'd be able to see that it was fake. There'd be like something off about it in real life. I don't know. That's a nitpick.
They just use a little face scanner to make the perfect face that would match over their face and put it on.
Just remembering the second film, I haven't seen enough of these films to say for sure, but I think...
What was the one where was it Dubai? He was at like the tallest tower in the world.
Yeah, I think that was the fourth one. I'm pretty sure I saw that one too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure...
That one was alright.
I'm pretty sure a thing with
these movies...
story. Pretty sure a thing with these movies is that they end with Tom Cruise fighting someone mono.
Yeah, that's like the spy thing. It's like always him versus
like with the second one, I know it was like the bikes fighting each other solo on the bikes.
At first, when the thing broke in the helicopter, I thought that was supposed to be like comic relief of him getting like sprayed, and then it was like, oh no, it was hot.
No, yeah, it was funny. It was just spraying his face because I I laughed. It was like, hi, that's funny. But then in like the next scene, it's like that part of his face is burned and like his
destroyed and melted.
and like his eye is melted, and it's like, oh fuck, it's
Well,
like
yeah,
he actually got fucked up from that.
The way the helicopter was, it took me a sec to realize that hose would have been like where the propeller was, so that would have connected to the engine somehow.
The only reason I'm actually surprised that he got burned that badly is because
tumbled through the snow.
Nobody actually gets hurt in this movie. Very rarely.
You never the cop woman gets shot in the stomach and she holds it the whole time and it keeps it out of frame, so you never see that. You don't see any like actual. It's like very PG-13.
This movie,
violence.
this movie is very PG-13, and I feel it would really benefit from just going all the way.
Those 3 villains on the street. He shot all 3 of them once, and they all just flopped over on the ground.
Yeah,
like,
so it kind of seemed like his whole thing was like not killing, but then he does kill. So
to save the police woman.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, he kills to save other people, but like his whole thing is not killing. So I guess he's just against needless killing, but he just makes such a big thing out of it. It's just like, I don't know.
And there's a lot of problems I have with this movie. I'm pretty okay. I don't want to blow my own horn, but I'm pretty good at the suspense of disbelief while I'm trying to watch a movie for the first time. But like, too predictable. It just kept pulling me out of it. Like,
what about
more often than?
What about that guy made him seem like the villain to you?
Yeah. At the start, I was like...
Kind of just how he doesn't care.
Yeah, well, at the start, he was, like, fucking with him, and I was like, okay, that could just be... I guess it's just other things were too on formula, and that scene, the scene ruined it for me with the friend at the start. It just ruined the whole fucking movie for me, honestly. I can't get over that scene.
Just
the whole thing after
plutonium.
That. Leaving the plutonium with the car that could drive itself to save his friend.
But would it have saved the movie if the nukings happened, so it actually gives a valid reason?
Where would it have gone?
Where
would it have gone if they had gotten the plutonium and his friend had died? His friend would be dead, and they'd be very upset, and there would be no nukings, and they wouldn't have that guy out of jail.
The whole movie would be about how they made up.
They would have all the plutonium in the world. There would be no loose plutonium.
For part of the movie, it would be like really sad. They'd be like mourning him.
They would mourn that guy, but it's like you didn't risk millions of lives.
And then Ethan, throughout the rest of the movie, would slowly go insane, and by the end, he becomes a terrorist and tries to nuke.
Then it would be the story about him not saving that one.
It'd be a revenge story. It'd be him trying to get back at all the people that fucking were part of that movie.
It felt like this movie could have went more interesting places than it did. And like they had opportunities to be more interesting. Like, okay. Like that scene where he goes into the church in Paris. That was Paris, right? I think so.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to have
it. London.
Oh yeah.
That was after they got to London.
Okay, I thought they were going to have a church fight scene. I was like, oh shit, this is going to be awesome. Like they're going to have to like do this fighting in a church.
Oh yeah, how are they going to do that?
They just ran out. They had a huge opportunity right there. Tom Cruise, and all the guys, all the villains are right in the church. And then
giant cathedral church with like over a few hundred people attending.
Then they all just ran away. Fucking
4 out of 10 arbitrary points.
It's a missed opportunity right there. Big oof.
Big oofs.
Helicopter scenes are pretty cool. Chase scenes were okay. Kind of dragged. I give this movie a C if you're bored out of 10.
4 out of 10.
Give it a 2. I feel like all of the movies are the same.
This has been the 3 High Guys.
Coming back to you. That's because we've been seeing like action movies because it's summer.